Oh my gosh, that is perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing part 2 of reviewing old and out of production discs. You guys really seem to enjoy the video on the Innova Puma, and I did scroll through the comment section, and the #1 most requested disc is the Innova Raven. The Innova Raven came out in 1994, and one of the really interesting things about the Raven is the fact that it is a beaded driver, and I believe to this day it is the last beaded driver that Innova ever made. Another interesting thing about the Raven is the fact that it is slightly larger in diameter than most modern day drivers. So if I take my old trusty Valkyrie here and I put it on top of it, you can see the Raven is just a little bit bigger. Now the Raven went out of production in the early 2000s, and the biggest reason for that was Innova came out with the Cheetah, and it was more stable, more reliable, and it felt a lot better in the hand. And guys, I'll be honest, the Raven I've never thrown. Unlike the Puma, I've never thrown this thing, never really felt it all that much, and it's uncomfortable. I will tell you that. The beaded driver is a very strange feel. It feels like it would be really easy to let it go and kind of have the bead drag on the bottom of your hands as you're trying to let it rip down the fairway. When the Raven came out, it was mildly popular. It was not some huge success, but it did catch the attention of one rather important individual, and that is Ken Climo himself. So somewhere out there is a run of KC Pro Ravens. He only did it for 1 year, but nonetheless, it got the KC Pro treatment. I do believe that Innova has dropped the Raven a few times on some factory second runs, so it did get official flight numbers from Innova, and they come in at 6.4-2.2. So I'm really excited to put those numbers to the test. Of course, we are going to take the Raven out, play a couple holes. I don't think it will break, but doing this series, that will always be a possibility. I'd really prefer it not to, but let's see if the old Raven has any juice left in the tank. For our first hole with the Innova Raven, we have a 260-foot shot. It is basically dead straight, slight ante. You don't really have a lot of room to hyzer out or turn over. I have no idea how hard to throw this disc. The bead is starting to feel a little more comfortable in the hand, but let's see what happens. Wow, that actually flew dead straight. I can give that a little more juice. I think we might run that one back. To be fair, we did have an outside chance to make that birdie, but I am feeling quite a bit more confident now. I'm going to add about 10% more power, same release point, and hopefully we get that flip up and slight turn. Well, we overturned it. I want to just keep throwing the shot over and over, but it's time for us to find a new hole. I know some of you psychopaths probably putt with a distance driver, so this one is just for you. We're going to see how the Raven does for a long putt. The answer is not great, but we'll take our par. And as always, guys, if you are enjoying the videos of these vintage discs, the reviews, getting them out in the field, throwing them, giving you some history, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment, letting me know what your rating on the stamp is. I am so partial to these 90s circle stamp discs that I just want to give them all a 10, but it's not as cool as the Puma, so the Raven's gonna sit right at a 9. Is it throwable? 100%. This is more usable than the Puma, I will say that, but can it putt? No, it can't putt. Can you find them? I think you can find them out there. They're not terribly expensive for the DX ones, but they're not going to handle many tree hits, that's for sure. And here we are, hole 2 with the Raven, and for some reason I decided to go to the hardest hole on the course. I think it's around 425 feet. It's a giant S. You are really happy with a 3 on this hole, and a 2 is very difficult. So of course we're gonna send the Raven. If I make 3 with the Raven, that would be absolutely outstanding. I'm gonna see how much distance we can get with this thing. Hopefully it just holds that slight ante the entire way. Oh my gosh, that is perfect. Oh, I don't know if that got stability, but if that got any stability, that throw was outstanding. The Raven landed right here. I am very shocked at how well this disc is throwing. Most days playing this hole, I would gladly take this as my drive. The basket is just a dead straight shot, probably around 120 feet-ish. Hopefully we can get up and down for an awesome 3, see how this thing does with a little hyzer. Oh no! I hope that's not broken. What an absolute choke. Dang it. What an absolute bummer. We had a great drive and threw it away on the upshot. I know we've all been there. We still have a chance to save our 3 with this long putt. Hopefully we can knock it down. We'll take the 4. For our third and final test with the Innova Raven, we are looking for some stability. We need a hyzer shot. This hole is pretty difficult, 260 feet. You want to hang dead straight for about 130, and then you need that stability to kick in. It did great for a nice flip up. It handled a long turnover shot perfectly. Let's see how it will handle the hyzer, and hopefully we don't hit any trees. Oh yeah. You know, that disc is good. That is throwing phenomenally. It is touchy. I took a lot of power off that shot, but we did get that beautiful hyzer. Let's see if we can get a birdie and actually end on a good note. The Raven worked out great for us. Let's hope for once it can come through as a putter and we can knock down this probably 14-footer. Yes, that hole's pretty tricky. I'm not gonna lie. I don't regularly get it. I can get it most of the time, but I wouldn't have expected to get it with the Raven. And that wraps up today's video showcasing the Innova Raven. If you guys have any other suggestions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.